Hi there, my name is Andreas Hessler. I'm with the BC Bike Race and Rocky Mountain Bikes. We'd like to give you some technical tips through a series of videos that hopefully can make your riding experience just a little bit better. Today's tech tip will be a little talk about tires. There's a lot of different tires out there for a lot of different compounds and terrains. So understanding the principles of the tires is what we're going to do here. And then we'll go into a bit more in-depth tire discussion in further episodes. Today what I want to talk about though is the center knob and the side knob and the particular application for that. This Oriflam by Maxxis has a particularly good side knob, but as you can see the center knob, there's nothing there. There's just a little bit of traction. If you live in a place or a desert climate where it's smooth and fast and hard packed, you might decide that I like the way this thing runs. It's partly a road tire, got some nice volume because it comes in a 2.1 size, but really this is not an all-around mountain bike tire. It's not a mud tire. It's a very, very dry conditioned summer tire. So you would only use this in extreme circumstances, or if your region particularly dictated, this is your type of tire. Now, moving up one level, we have a Crossmark. This is what I consider to be a great all-around tire. Again, we have great edge knob for cornering control. The center is well spaced out, so you've got good mud clearance. The knobs are angled and shaped so you've got a forward direction for fast rolling, yet the backside gives you paddling for braking, which is very, very important. There's a little bit of knob profile here. Some people might say, oh, that's a pretty low profile tire, and it is a low profile tire, but it's actually a really good all-around tire. Don't be fooled. The spacing on the knobs is very important. How are you going to shed mud if you don't have any spacings? Good edge, good center, good spacing, and a directional tire. The Crossmark is one of the best all-around tires. Now we're getting into a specific tire. This is a mud tire. It's called the Medusa. Usually with mud tires you run smaller and narrower. See, the profiles are quite high, quite tall knobs. That's going to get you through the mud and into contact with the bedrock. Very well spaced out for clearance again, if you're in clay type muds. Now this again, like the Oriflam, is a tire that's for extreme conditions. What we're looking for most of the time is your favorite tire, something that's good all around, like the Crossmark. This is the Larson TT. This is a perfect example of a combination between the Crossmark and the Medusa. It's got a few more blocks, they're a little taller profile than the Crossmark, and they're not specific mud tire. So as you're getting into more loamy, muddier conditions, you would transition from the Crossmark to the Larson, and then if you got into some deep mud, then you would go to the Medusa. So these are all what we consider to be XC style and XC size. Now that's cross country. Cross country sizing is usually 1.9 to 2.1, depending on your body weight and the terrain you're riding in. Everything has to be matched up, so it takes a lot of consideration. As you move up in size as a person, if you're pushing 180 to 200 pounds, or you're doing more descending, that's when you want to consider a 2.25 tire or a 2.35. Beyond the 2.35 tires, you start to go into the 2.5, and that's in the downhill or extreme freeride range. We'll get to that in a minute. This is the Minion DH front. Now don't be fooled just because it says it's called DH. We run this quite often on our cross-country bikes around Vancouver. It's quite a light tire, not as light as any of the cross countries we've looked at. It has a bit more volume, being a 2.35, so it gives you a bit of cushion. But that also adds to your traction because you can run a little bit lower pressure, which allows the tires to conform around the roots and give you some traction. Many people ask, what is a good tire for the BC Bike Race? I would say if you're not out there gunning for a win and the weather's looking a bit, bit wet, bit dry, this is a great size tire and a great tire pattern. It's got sort of mid-profile blocks, not too low, not too high, not a mud tire, not a low-profile tire. It's a good all-around tire, and that's what we're kind of looking for rootier, wetter compounds. What is a good all-around tire? Just for comparison, this is a downhill tire. They come in 2-ply, so they don't come in folding. Their 2-ply refers to the sidewall here, and that means there's extra resistance on the side wall of the tire for compressions for downhilling. Most of the tires we looked at were all folding tires, and they're single ply. Some people also like to talk about TPI. We have 120 TPI or 60 TPI. That's threads per inch. Now it's just like your sheets you buy for your bed at home, 500 count, 600 count, 300 count. The threads per inch makes for a very supple feeling tire that contours more over roots and rocks. So a 120 TPI tire in a folding is going to be quite an expensive tire. Whereas when you have a non-folding tire or a steel bead, it's usually going to be 60 TPI. If you're on a free ride bike or a downhill bike, that's okay. Now if you're on a cross-country race bike, you want to have a little bit lighter weight and a little bit more supple feel. That's the 120 TPI and the smaller casing tires, 2.1, 2.25, maybe even if you're a small person, a 1.95. But those are getting down to some extreme race tires. So, tip of the day. Think about who you are and where you're riding your bike. Practice with your tires so you know what's going on. Not every tire is perfect for every condition. 2.1, 2.35, good all-arounder, good all-arounder. Front directional, good both front and rear. Lots to consider and lots to think about. Talk with your local bike store and they'll help you get the right tire for the right location.